take the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Rebecca Mbae, and good afternoon from Tokyo. Good morning in Kenya. I'm so glad to see participants here from Japan. I see Mr. Suzuki Shimizu. I was with Mr. Yasuhide Kanai this morning. We were invited to the Japan Tea Association General Assembly for the year, and thereafter with a lunch, and I had an opportunity to address the members of the Japan Tea Association, and your colleague, the general manager of the coffee and tea department, was there. And it's good to see you again here. It shows that your company, in addition to many other Japanese companies, are very committed to business in Kenyan coffee. So thank you so much. For Keproba, we thank you for your initiative and partnership in this regard. Let me first say that coffee, or kohi, as it's said in Japanese, is a culture in Japan. My first time to experience Japanese coffee culture was in 1995. That is 30 years ago when I came to this beautiful country. By then, Kilimanjaro coffee, which is distinctly Tanzanian, was already a very common brand. And I'm so happy to come back here 30 years later as ambassador, and to pick up my experience of this beautiful country and its people. Japan is the fourth largest coffee consumer nation. And when you look at the populations of the world, you will know that Japan is not anywhere top the world population in terms per country, but it's very strong as a coffee consumer economy. If you take that, Japan imports about 400,000 tons of coffee against a population of 124 million. So how much coffee does one person consume? What's the marginal consumption in terms of a kilogram? 124 million people against 400,000 tons of coffee imported every year. Anybody who has done advanced econometrics will tell you that that market is substance. Secondly, there is a trend in Japan's coffee business in terms of how it's evolving, in terms of usability of coffee beans, in terms of the processing. One of the traditions of elements of this is what we call coffee on the move. Coffee brings people together in this country, but also we have coffee on the move. We have dispensed coffee. We have byproducts of coffee, like, for example, the jelly that is now we are working with some of the companies here to promote. So the variety and offer how the Japanese economy consume coffee is really, really very interesting, and has a lot of opportunities given its certification of business culture. The recent developments in the market have seen brewed coffee in convenience stores such as 7-Eleven, Lawson, Family Mart, and the rest, create an opportunity for coffee exporting countries. We have Kenyan coffee already is available in some of these super convenience stores like Family Mart, both as a blend and single origin product. We are also seeing elements of drip coffee, which is becoming very popular, similar to the tea bag. I came here to the embassy 8 months ago, and I have looked historically what the embassy has been doing. One, it has quite some network with the coffee organizations here in Japan. This year we participated in the specialty coffee exhibition here in Tokyo. The embassy is also working with individual companies which are using coffee to promote their other businesses. For example, Kurafish Sushi. This year they have adopted to produce a coffee-based jelly in which they are offering in over 500 stores around Japan. So again, as I said, the involvement of use of coffee and coffee-based products to push for other businesses like the jelly, coffee jelly by Kurasushi. We also are using the embassy facilities here to display coffee. Kenya Coffee is also an element of our gift pack. Of course, there's a lot needs to be thought about it on how we work to promote in terms of branding. We have also been in touch with individual coffee producers and exporters in Kenya who have reached out to us and been able to link them up with the Japanese importers. Now, what needs to be done about prompting Kenyan coffee is something that I would like to come to later on. It is important to reflect that Kenya contributes 1.2 thereabout, or maybe 1.2 metric tons of coffee. Of the 400,000 metric tons imported, we only produce hardly 1.3. That means we are number 13 or number 14. There is a trend of Kenyan coffee declining here in Japan. There was a time that we were actually in the top 10. And we would like to address some of the issues that has led to that decline. However, one of the clear reasons of the Kenyan coffee is the price. A lot of Japanese companies say that the Kenyan coffee is slightly more expensive than others. As compared to Tanzanian and Ethiopian coffee, Kenyan coffee is substantially expensive. But we have other challenges that I think we will allow the Japanese companies here to highlight what their challenges are. But let me just reaffirm the commitment of the embassy to work with KEPROBA and certainly the Japanese companies involved in coffee business to grow Kenyan coffee here in terms of market size, but also in terms of reach around the country. Thank you, Madam Bai, and I'm looking forward to a meaningful discussion, particularly when it comes to saying how do we improve opportunities for Kenyan coffee in Japan. Thank you again.
Thank you very, very much, Balozi, for those remarks. Thank you. We are honored to have you. We are honored for the partnership to work with the embassy. So thank you very much. Now, I would like us to go straight into the presentations, into the meat of the webinar. And I would like to call upon Mr. Toshihide Suzuki to present, to share his screen, and to present and to take us through those, the Japanese coffee landscape. Having been a practitioner, buying Kenyan coffee, let us hear from him, and thereafter we shall proceed to the other presentation. Mr. Suzuki, you're very welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so, こんにちは。
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. There are two things before starting, and I have the two things. So to apologize. The one thing is my voice is not so clear because I've got a cold from my son, and my throat is not in good condition. And two things. The second thing is that I've got prepared some line to speech on the desk next to my laptop. So I'm seeing this angle because I'm gonna read it. So you might be feeling some weird, but let me ask me. And if you feel weird, I'm gonna fix. So shall we start? So first, let me introduce myself first. So I joined Ishimitsu in 2011, and I work in green coffee sales now. So since 2015, I've been in charge of African coffee. Ever since then, I visited Africa every year to source and buy coffee directly. So today, I'm really happy to have the chance to talk with you from both in sales and purchase perspectives. And also Ishimitsu, let me introduce Ishimitsu, some things. And Ishimitsu is a Japanese trading company focused on importing and selling high quality coffee in Japan. And we work basically directly with the producers all over the world to supply both specialty coffee and commercial grade coffee to Japanese roasters and cafe. And Japan imports about 1,000 metric tons, if I don't, I'm sorry. So Japan imports about 1,000 metric tons, and Ishimitsu uses about 100 to 150 metric tons every year. So which is roughly 5% of the total Kenyan coffee coming into Japan. So to be honest, we don't really import commercial grade coffee. So almost everything we bring in from Kenya is micro lot. So meaning we Ishimitsu focusing on specialty and high quality coffee. I'd like to talk about how to make Kenya coffee to be successful. So firstly, I want to say that Kenya coffee is really highly respected in Japan. And a lot of people here think Kenya coffee is the very best, even when compared to the other regions. So I don't really think Kenya coffee is being replaced by any other African origins like Ethiopia or Tanzania. Each region is great in its own way, but Kenya coffee really stands out here in Japan. That is what I feel now. And trends in Japan, trends like anaerobic processing were pretty big for a while, but I feel that's slightly starting to fade now, which is, I think, controversial, and many people think in different way, but it is, in my opinion, it's fading slightly. Instead, people want really a delicious and classic coffee, especially made using traditional methods like fully washed, I mean. So in particular, focusing on traditional varieties like SL28 are a big topic now. And that trend is, in my opinion, getting bigger. So more and more Japanese roasters are looking for these traditional varieties. On the other hand, when producers switch to decrease resistant ones, some people in Japan feel that taste is less exciting. Of course, I understand that sticking with the traditional variety isn't always easy for producers. So there are other better points to make a Kenyan coffee stable. Sorry, let me try again. I'm going to talk about the other better point is to make coffee stable in quality year by year. So the processing and the lot management really makes your coffee better. If you want to get more into exports, I'd suggesting teaming up with experienced exporters to help handle this. And Ishimitsu normally work with Dolmans and Ibero, and they are doing very well. And they are good at handling Kenyan coffee to target the taste and the flavor for Japanese market. So we are working together for very long terms. And the other thing is the other important factor for Japanese market is, I think, and telling story. I mean, a lot of roasters needs the story for selling. I mean, promotion from the producer's side. Like, how carefully did you grow the coffee and process the coffee, and the pictures as well, and what are especially passionate about a farmer and producer. Being able to share that story means a lot, really. And we sell the coffee, or we try to sell the coffee to our customers. They always asking us for promotion sheet or fact sheet, what varieties, how did the coffee be grown, like this. And of course, the taste is the most important thing as well. But before that, the story is very important. So, and sometimes a great story is enough to sell a coffee without a sample or tasting the coffee. So that some roasters just buy coffee from us before tasting the coffee. So what I'd like to say is just a story is very important in Japan now. And I don't think I've got a question from Yagi-san before this webinar. What is the a great factor which make a Kenyan coffee competitive to any other African origins like Tanzania or Ethiopia? But it's very different, and Japanese roasters are thinking in the same way. Those are very different. So they use, I think, all the coffee recently, and what they need from Kenyan coffee is, I think, a taste and a story. So it's a very short, but this is my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Suzuki. Thank you for that short and precise presentation, speech about the market, what your company has been able to see about the trends, and about what the consumer would like to hear. And I think it's coming out very clearly, the importance of promotion, the importance of the branding and the story behind the coffee, the producer, the farm, and all those attributes together with the taste and even the processing of the coffee. Thank you very much for that
Thank you.
presentation. I believe we shall
Thank
get
you.
some questions. We shall get some questions maybe as we go along, and maybe we can proceed straight on and have Mr. Fumi Takahashi from 81 Group to make his presentation as well. Mr.
Thank
Takahashi,
you,
welcome.
everyone. Thank you. Mr. 渡辺、渡辺さん、一言言いますか？聞こえてますかね？
I
渡辺
think
さん、 話せます？
we can hear you, yes.
渡辺さん話せます？
Okay. Nice to meet you. I'm Yasuhiro Watanabe of Naomi Coffee. I would like to explain about the depth for Kenyan coffee in Japan from Barista Takahashi. Takahashi-san, お願いします。
はい。Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm the owner barista and roaster in Japan. We drink coffee from all over the world and have connection with barista champions and farms in many countries. And we, Kenyan Joam Coffee Company, our business partners. I also won a coffee competition with Kenyan coffee. I like Kenyan coffee. And first, the East Africa coffees favorite in Japan are Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Kenya. Ethiopia in Ethiopian beans popular for more than 20 years. Ethiopia is also popular as a specialty coffee with Ilga Chefe. I think we think Flora, Strass, and berry T-Rex flavors. And Tanzania is famous for Kilimanjaro Mountain brand. It mainly consumes common coffee and cheap price. In addition, the coffee value assessment last year by the Specialty Coffee Association has led to worldwide value of coffee. She for the details, she chat for the details. Just a moment, please. Oh, sorry.
Mr. Takahashi, would you like to share your screen?
No, thank you. Thank you. All okay. For more information, please see the SAJ journey. Next. Sorry. In Japan, coffee from Africa with a sour taste is not so popular except for a few. Kenya and Ethiopian coffee are often dark roast or blended coffee. However, specialty coffee has spread in Japan since the World Barista Championship held at Tokyo Big Sight in 2007. Since then, specialty coffee shops have begun increase in specialty coffee is now sold at major coffee shop chains and more stores. This can be fact that specialty coffee has become a everyday acquired thing and top by in fact Japanese by in fact Japanese top specialty Kenyan coffee and Rabin. Today, there are still many dark roasted coffee, but more and more people are enjoying the flavorful coffee like specialty coffee. And however, barista at the forums of the coffee industry farms coffees with specialty coffees, and we think specialty coffee are natural process, P-berry varieties, and single origin coffees, anaerobic fermentation, and carbonic macerations, and more. Just also, even for C-grade or low prices coffees, there is tendency to seek coffees that have been selected by top barista choice on local information in Kenya. This is the Japanese market from the specialty coffee perspective. Thank you. And Miss 八木さん、もし何か、ちょっと拙い英語だったんで、皆さんからクエスチョンがあれば、また承ります。Thank you for everyone.
Mr. Takahashi, thank you for that short and precise presentation as well. Thank you for those perspectives, the understanding of the coffee that is preferred, the African coffees from the different countries and what people look out for. Thank you for the understanding on how the different processes and the different varieties of Kenyan coffee are also appreciated in the market. And I believe a number of participants will have some questions regarding, especially maybe for both of you, for both 81 Coffee and Shimizu. Maybe one of the questions that people keep asking us even as an agency is, how do I get my coffee to the Japanese market? How do buyers in the market look for coffee or access coffee in the Kenyan market? Do you have agents locally that do it for you, or do you have, or how do you source for your coffee? Maybe a response to that, because I believe that is one key question that coffee producers keep asking. How do they get in touch with you? How do they seek their coffee to enter the Japanese market?
Can I respond?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I think the best way that they can take is maybe they should connect with shippers in Kenya, like Dorman I mentioned before. And we don't really visit each individual farmer to get coffee. So the best way is connecting with the shippers who can export their coffee to Japan or any other countries overseas. And one more thing, which is very good for them, is like a shipper like Dorman's and knows very well in Japan, I mean Japanese market. So they can advise them how to make their coffee suitable for each market they're targeting. So repeatedly, I think the best way is connecting with the shippers in Kenya.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Suzuki. I don't know if our other colleague may want to say something about that. Mr. Takayashi. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Just a moment, please. One question. Everyone. Sorry. One question. Why do you guys think Kenyan coffee is not spreading in Japan? すみません。なんでケニアのコーヒーが日本で広まらないと思いますかって聞きたいんですけど。
彼らがってことですかね。彼らの意見として。
私の逆、そうですね。ちょっと先にちょっと質問をさせてほしくて。One question.
So everyone, Takashi-san, they're asking you, why do you think the Kenyan coffee is not so popular in Japan?
Thank you, Mr. Suzuki.
So Takashi-san is asking you your opinion first before responding to your question. Please.
Thank you. Can the embassy participate in answering that question?
Yeah.
Good. Madam Naoko, you would like to take the floor? Madam Naoko, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, the question is why would people think that Kenyan coffee is not popular in Japan?
Yeah.
高橋さん、すいません。高橋さん、ケニアサイドがそれを聞きたいという質問をされてるってことです。はい。
違う、そうですね。むしろケニアの方々はなぜそう思ってるのかっていうのが、ちょっと私のちょっと質問だったっていうのもありまして、もしあれば、なければ、むしろ我々のアンサーをっていうか、私たちの考えを言いますけど。
Okay. So, Mr. Takahashi, if any exporters would like to ask the question that why Kenyan coffee is not spreading in Japan market, if that is not a question, then Mr. Takahashi will continue his answer. So, 高橋さん、どうぞ進めてください。
一応、私のプレゼンテーションは終わりですかね。はい。ありがとうございます。
Okay, so please go to next question. Samuel, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Takashi has, I don't know, by default has raised a question which should be very important to all of us. On statistically, we see that Kenya is 13th, 14th on the list of imports or coffee imports into Japan. Yet, we are known to be a leading coffee producer country. It is also true that Kenyan coffee is very expensive, but so is Colombian coffee. Well, it's equally or even more expensive than the Kenyan one. So why is it that Colombia can send 47 million kilograms and Kenya is doing 1.3? Why? What is the reason? In my assessment, and actually we have a Kenyan expert who is doing postgraduate studies in this issue here, coffee matters. To me, there are three issues that we need to look at. One is the history. What is the history of Kenya engagement with Japan on coffee matters? What have we been doing as a country to promote the coffee? Secondly, is the brand. I agree with Mr. Suzuki that Tanzanian and Ethiopian coffee are not necessarily better than Kenyan coffee. The reality is Kenyan coffee is better. But the Tanzanian coffee has a history of a brand, Kilimanjaro coffee. It has an identity. So we need to think about the brand aspect of the Kenyan coffee. And we also have gone through this with tea. There is if you look at Sri Lankan tea, which now is the highest import to Japan, gladly we have overtaken India. Kenyan tea now is the second imported into Japan. Sri Lankan tea has a brand. And that brand has gone to the extent that even in the branding of the coloring, it's very much synonymous with Lipton. Yet we all know that Kenyan tea is used to blend most tea products around the world. So the second issue is the brand. Why? Are we missing out? The third one, which is very important, is the story ourselves that we tell about our coffee. We are losing advantages of Kenyan coffee used to be seen as the leading coffee in the world because of the traditional processing methods but other countries do that the same now. We do not have an advantage because of the way we process our coffee anymore. Is it time that we look at coffee with the eye of organic, fair trade? I don't know. I'm not an expert in coffee. I'm an expert in selling. So to answer that question to me, I think we need to look at the history of how we've been doing the business. Now, this is where the coffee directorate comes in. And this is a story that I have engaged coffee directorate for many years in my career in different countries. What has been the story? Has our product just been selling itself because it's good enough? Secondly, what is it that we need to tell about the story, as Mr. Suzuki has said? The Kenyan coffee being expensive is not a disadvantage. It's not. It's an advantage in Japan because it's a country of quality. It's a country where people value presence of something special. So for me, those are the three reasons that I would look and say, maybe if we address ourselves to, we will be, because there are things that we cannot make up because maybe history, the way we've been presenting. And certainly, in order to realize all this, to go to the final part of my comments, we need to do three critical issues. One, our coffee producers need to understand the Japanese market. And because we cannot have our producers come here, Keproba, the coffee directorate, and the State Department in charge of all this need to help to encourage familiarization of the Kenyan coffee sector, from production, processing to export. The Japanese companies dealing with the Kenyan coffee need to understand the product that they're offering to their clients here. To me, that's number one. Number two, we need to meet the specifications of the marketing and branding of the Japanese market. Mr. Suzuki has told about this, the issue of the story. You have seen from this presentation the issue of language. Coffee consumption comes with a particular culture. It comes from some expectations. The Japanese are very sensitive about how the production of every import item here. So that is very, very important. The third aspect is how do we work with the Japan Coffee Organization to make sure that we don't miss windows in participating in trade exhibitions, conferences, and this should even and behind. So whenever our representative attend global coffee events, that networking with the Japanese coffee organizations is very important. Then finally, we must pick momentum and maintain the traction on promotion of our coffee. We don't have to wait for another webinar next year. The expo, which is going on now in Osaka, is a big opportunity. The TICAD 9 that coming up in August, big opportunity. So it will be important that we look at organizing a visit to Japan by Kenyan coffee producers and exporters. They need to come and understand and feel the Japanese market. It's a worth investment. And out of doing that, you will also encourage the Japanese coffee dealers to visit Kenya. That's the same message I gave this morning when we had the Japan Tea Association annual event. We need to integrate the producers, the exporters, the importers here in Japan, and those companies which use, because of course there are those big houses like Itochu who import the product, but there are consumers, those coffee shops, the hotels, who I'm glad that Mr. Takahashi has talked about the coffee baristas. Those are my submission, Mr. Chair, and thank you again, Takahashi and Suzuki, for very good, useful presentations.
Mhm. Thank you very, very much, Balozi, for those comments. And I think that
You,
helps us to demystify a lot of this information. And I can see one question that has been put on the platform, and maybe Mr. Takahashi can help us to answer this one. How do baristas select coffees to use in competitions? Do they buy from importers? Mr. Takahashi.
先ほど、すみません、すみません、八木さん、なんていうお話ですかね。八木さんいらっしゃいますかね。
Nengo demo hii, Naoko can translate. Just you can say it in Japanese. Naoko will translate.
Sorry. Samuel, could you say it again?
The question is on the chat facility is, how do baristas select coffees for use in competitions? Are they bought from importers?
How do baristas select coffee? Do they buy or are they given by the... 高橋さん、バリスタの方はコーヒーをどのように、選ぶかという質問です。お願いします。
我々バリスタは、本当クオリティですね。本当にあとはトレーサビリティ、クオリティ、トレーサビリティ、あとはストーリーですね。まずは。
What about any countries, particular country? 高橋さん、特にじゃあ国の、指定はないというか。
そうですね。で、補足するならば、最近は、ゲイシャ ゲイシャバラエティとか、あとは、unique process. For example, natural process, anaerobic process, carbonic maceration process っていうちょっとユニークプロセスがとかユニークフレーバーでストーリーが分かりやすいものが我々は皆さんとコネクトしやすいので選ぶことが多いですね。実際そういうワールドバリスタチャンピオンシップとか私が審査員をやっている大会でも同様です。
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Takashi. So, uniqueness of the variety and story is very important, as well as traceability. So, it doesn't matter about which country, but those are important factor to choose the coffee beans.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that. I think that question has been well answered. And maybe I think I see Mr. Suzuki like to make some final comment before he is able to leave. So Mr. Suzuki, you could mention something, and then we can allow you then to step out of the meeting. Welcome.
Thank you. So maybe little comment at the end. So I think I should talk about some regulations, which is very hard for you to expand Kenyan coffee into Japan. Because Samuel-san asked us before that why isn't the Kenyan coffee expanding so much in Japan? It is due to, which is a very big, not issue, but regulation. It is to do with a Japanese law. So it's necessary to show that a brand proportion on the product. So, and they basically never, it's not never, but how can I say, the roasters don't really change the proportion for the coffee used. So Colombia now is the coffee that the price is very high, and I think Kenyan coffee's price now is so expensive at the moment. But the difference is Colombia coffee, it could be lower next year or the after. But Kenyan coffee is not so going low in price. I mean the high compared to the other regions year by year. So, and that ends up with the roasters not using or expanding the Kenyan coffee so much because they cannot use any other different coffee from the product level that they use, and then they put a name on it. So it is very hard for high-priced coffee for roasters to use. I mean, to continue to use. But we'll try best to promote Kenyan coffee year by year. And I'd like to work together with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are very, very
Thank
kind
you
words,
very much,
Mr.
Mr.
Suzuki.
Suzuki.
And
Thank
so,
you for
sorry,
that
Samuel. Sorry,
clarification.
Samuel.
And
Sorry.
I see yes. Proceed, Balozi. Proceed. Apologies.
I just wanted to welcome the very kind words of Mr. Suzuki and his company. And here at the embassy, we are very keen and looking forward to working with him and all other partners here in Japan to pursue more market for the Kenyan product. And I really appreciate the understanding, their deep understanding of the Kenyan coffee. Thank you again, Suzuki and Takashi.
Thank you. Thank you. As we proceed, I see a hand up. I see a hand up by Cyprian Ongeri. We want to take a few moments to just ask your question.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Cyprian from Real Sources Africa. I wanted to confirm what type of coffee do you import from Kenya? Are we looking at coffee beans or you're looking at processed coffee?
Oh, we as Ishimitsu green coffee beans.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I see a number of questions still coming in. One attendee, one question that has been asked is, would there be a requirement for sterilizing tea or coffee when exporting to Japan? Sterilizing tea or coffee.
So it's very hard to hear. Could you write it down on Q&A? Can you?
The question is, would there be a requirement on sterilizing coffee when exporting to Japan? Sterilizing coffee. And another question that has been mentioned is about the minimum residue levels, MRLs. Faith notes that it has been noted that there are various shipments from Kenya that have been rejected because of minimum residue levels. Do you have any comment on that?
I need to check because there are some residue prohibited in Japan, and it's not one thing. So maybe like 2,4-D, or maybe some other chemicals.
Thank you. Thank
But
you.
I'm sure there is a specific level that can be imported in Japan. But sorry, I'm not quite sure the exact number now.
We shall look out for that. We shall follow up to see if we can to get the details, and then we can share after the webinar.
Yeah.
Yes. As we continue asking and responding to our questions, I would like us to proceed to just get some. Am I audible enough? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. So we shall proceed and have a small discussion about the opportunities that Expo 2025 Osaka has presented for the coffee producers and coffee exporters in Kenya. And we shall have Rebecca Paye make a small, give that presentation. And then after that, we shall move on. So Karibu, Rebecca, you can make those remarks as we proceed.
Thank you very much, Rere, for this opportunity to present the opportunities for coffee exporters at Expo 2025 Osaka. And I'm pleased to share some insights on the unique opportunities that are available for our Kenyan exporters at Expo 2025 Osaka that is currently going on. This is a 6-month expo that will end in October 2025. And we have opportunities. There are opportunities, particularly through the non-commercial space, and the pop-up spaces that are being identified for our Kenyan business community. Expo Osaka, Expo 2025 Osaka is expected to attract over 28 million visitors, and this offers an unparalleled visibility for participating brands. It is a global platform for countries to showcase their cultures, their innovations, and premium products, such as Kenyan coffee. And so I would like to take this opportunity to inform the coffee exporters and lovers of coffee from Kenya that Kenya has a non-commercial pavilion space just next to the Kenya Pavilion. And this non-commercial space focuses on storytelling, culture, national branding, and there are opportunities for coffee exporters, and the opportunities include brand visibility. At this space, you can feature your brand in a curated exhibit highlighting Kenyan heritage and coffee excellence. We have daily sampling and demonstrations where we engage visitors through tastings and brewing demos, showcasing the uniqueness of our Kenyan coffee. This will also give us opportunities for storytelling, as His Excellency has said. We can share the journey of our coffee from farm to cup, emphasizing sustainability, quality, farmer impact. It's also an opportunity for networking, where you can connect with global visitors, potential partners, and policymakers through scheduled programming within the pavilion. That is one of the opportunities. The second opportunity is the pop-up commercial spaces. In addition to the space next to the pavilion, which we are calling the non-commercial space, Kenya also has access to rotational pop-up spaces where businesses can commercially showcase and sell their products. So what does this mean for you as an exporter of coffee? Here you will have retail opportunities where you can sell your packaged coffee and related products directly to an international audience. You are able, at these pop-up spaces, it is ideal for launching even new product lines or specialty blends tailored to consumers, the Asian consumers, but also to the other visitors from all over the world. For coffee exporters, it is an opportunity for market testing, where you will gather live feedback from Japanese and global consumers. It's also an opportunity for business linkages, where you will meet Japanese buyers, cafe owners, importers, and distributors. So how do you get involved? KEPROBA is we are spearheading these opportunities, and we are daily coordinating stakeholders who are interested to showcase in our spaces. So kindly get in touch with us. We will shortly put my email on the chat for you to be engaged and to be given the requirements so that we are onboarding all qualified exporters for both spaces. So on this opportunity, we'll be able to get space. KEPROBA is paying for the space for the pop-up spaces as well as the branding. The exhibitors are only shipping their products and, of course, taking care of their accommodation. So through these opportunities, we'll be able to connect with the Japanese partners even as the expo goes on. So what is the call to action? We are inviting interested coffee exporters to express their interest and work with us to ensure readiness for this global opportunity. This is a strategic moment to elevate the Kenya coffee brand and position our exporters for long-term growth in the Japanese and wider Asian markets. So thank you very much. We look forward to partnering with you as we showcase Kenya's best to the world at the Expo 2025 Osaka. Asanteni sana. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. Thank you for those opportunities. And I believe we shall share these opportunities promptly after this to the participants. so that we can follow up and see how so that you can see how you can engage, how you can participate in this, take up these opportunities. So you're very, very welcome. So within immediately after this webinar, we shall seek to share all this information that has been shared today, and we shall also send you a recording of this webinar. So we are very, very grateful. And as we head towards a close, I would like to I see that we still have some comments coming through under the Q&A facility. We shall endeavor to try and respond to them even after the webinar has closed, so that we can give you as much information as possible. Now, as we head to a close, I would like to see if Mr. Takahashi and Mr. Suzuki, if you have any final comment about any information we'd like to share, and then we can head towards a close of this webinar as we head to the end. Mr. Takahashi, do you have any other comment? Mr. Suzuki?
I don't have any specific comments, but just expressing the thank you, and I'm very honored to be here with you. Thank you very much today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Takahashi.
All right. Thank you for everyone. I think very, very good special days. Everyone, thank you very much. Thanks.
Any representation from the embassy? A final comment?
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining this meeting, and thank you, Keprova, for organizing this such good meeting. And I hope we look forward to promoting Kenyan coffees in Japanese market and work together. Thank you.
So to everyone, once again, we want to say thank you very, very much for taking time to register and to participate in the webinar. We are within about 1 hour and 10 minutes. Thank you very much for your active participation. We have seen the many contacts and the many responses and comments that have been put on the facility. We shall seek to respond to all the questions that are there. We shall also share a recording to the link, a link to the recording, and any and the information that has been shared. We shall package them and share them to each and every one of us. Thank you very much to all of you, and have a pleasant day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
鈴木さん、あり
you.
がとうございます。高橋さん、ありがとうございました。渡辺さんもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much.
お疲れ様でし
Thank
た。
you. Thank you very much.
See you again.
Asante.
Karibu.
Asante.
Asante sana.
Kwaheri.
Kwaheri. Kwaheri.
Kwaheri.
5,500 even.
I don't know if actually, as it was that we don't have at least, yeah, you have to wait 500. So when we give them